Happy Monday, guys. This is Gus Rickard. I'm doing a little series of Facebook Lives called 7 Habits of Healthy People. This is the first one. It's in my backyard. It's so beautiful here with this sun today. It's really feeling like the winter's over. Just got back from a beautiful weekend at up near Bellingen, a place called Valor with Haley. She took me to stay in this amazing retrofitted retro bus that we stayed in called the Lucky Duck bus, which was such a cool thing. And it was a permaculture inspired Airbnb place with big gardens and chickens and all sorts of stuff. It was really cool, really inspiring. If you want somewhere nice to stay up the north coast, go check out this Lucky Duck bus. Today I'm talking about whole foods. So it was kind of fitting having that garden there for the weekend. So the first habit, or actually the 7th habit of healthy people that I'm going to talk about today is eating whole foods. A whole food, to use David Getoff's definition, is any food that is unchanged from the way that nature presented it to us. So an apple is a whole food, for example, and a carton of apple juice isn't. Even though the only ingredients on the apple juice might be apples, it's been pressed, there's been fiber taken out of it, so it's going to affect blood sugar much more quickly. If it's in a carton, they've pasteurized it to keep it on the shelf longer. Any food that is a product will come in a packet, and it's a product primarily, meaning that the manufacturer's first example is to sell this thing, to get it on the sorry, I'm just having network difficulties. Okay, just logged off Wi-Fi onto my 4G. Hopefully that's better. Where was I? So primarily food-like products will be manufactured in order to sell. So they've been changed from their natural form to last on the shelf longer, to taste better, to be thicker and creamier and stay together in a way that they wouldn't naturally. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Whereas whole foods are just animals and vegetables that come from nature. So that's really the simplest way that a person, I think, can navigate all the crap food information out there, is to say, is it a whole food? Is it unchanged from the way nature presented this food to us? Some things need to be changed. Like, you're not going to take a bite out of a cow. Obviously, you need butchers to cut it down. But beef, a steak, I'd say would be a whole food, whereas beef jerky or biltong or something like that, even though those are, depending on how they're done, they're still good forms of preserving food. But the closer to nature, the easier, the more you can ensure that it's not going to have things in it that aren't effective for your body. Hey, Sylvia, good morning. I had a friend email me over the weekend saying that he had these food intolerances and he's had blood tests, and it was so hard to navigate the landscape with food, and he was intolerant actually not to foods but to all these preservatives. There were a list of numbers, E105, E421 and all these things, and he was saying, how the hell do you know what not to eat? And it comes back to just eating whole foods. The simplest way to escape a lot of the damage that's done with modern food production is just to avoid it altogether. And it's really easy to just cook whole foods. We're meant to eat vegetables and fruit and meat. We're not meant to eat bars and cans of Coke and all sorts of crap. Yes, so eat whole foods, guys. Get into cooking, create a food culture. I read a book recently called Deep Nutrition by a woman called Catherine Shanahan, which was an awesome book. I'd highly recommend it. One thing, there was a chapter in there where she's talking about when we actually came up with the definition of fat and protein and carbohydrate. When we first isolated those things and started to eat, or started to talk about how much fat we should be having, and how much protein we should be having, and how much carbohydrate we should be having, and what ratios of those things we should be having, that's when most of our modern health problems started. Because before that, we didn't have protein, carbohydrate, and fat. We didn't manipulate food and manipulate our meals in order to have more protein and more carbohydrate. We just ate, what it was that we were connected with. We had a very different food story, and we did have a connection to the animals we were eating, to the plants that we were eating, and we had probably more of a connection to our bodies as well. A huge thing nowadays is that we're very disconnected from our bodies. We spend so much time focused on screens, on projects, on all the stuff that we're focused on, that it actually takes awareness away from our bodies. So listening to your body and eating whole foods is probably the simplest way that I can put it to navigate the food environment that we're in. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks for joining me. I just wanted to keep this kind of quick. I'm going to try and keep these little Monday morning ones to 12 minutes. You can catch me over the next 6 Monday mornings for another 7 habits of healthy people. Have a beautiful week, guys. Ciao.